All right, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. You are welcome to the International Day for Women in Mining, WiM 2024. My name is Dr. Comfort Asokoro-Ogaji, and I am so privileged to welcome you and to moderate this session. So we would be diving in because we have a long day to go on this program today. And in the course of it, we'll be launching the Voices of Children from the Pits program of the Women in Mining Africa. So I just want to mention also that we are happy to share with you that we are now approved member of the Initiative for Responsible Mining Assurance, and there's a lot in line for us to do, and this is really good news for us. I want to thank all our supporters, the Africa Minerals and Miners Center, the International Women in Mining, and all the networks of women in mining across the globe. A special thanks to you for supporting this program and giving some guidance, and also the Rich Flood Office for a lot of support that we receive. These are our presenters for today. You must have seen them in our banners, so we will just move on, straight on, and get started. You are all welcome. I will now plead with our presenters to please stick to time so that we can get done with the program today at the scheduled time as we go on. So over to you now, Madam Ezinne Georgie, joining us from London. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I know where you I'm in London, and time is 3 o'clock, which is our afternoon. And welcome to the International Day of Women in Mining, IDWIM campaign. This year theme, I'm mining and I belong, resonated deeply with our collective mission to create a diverse and inclusive mining industry. It is an honor to be here today, celebrate the incredible contribution of women in mining and advocating for their empowerment and inclusion. I want to use this opportunity to thank the organizers, led by Dr. Comfort Asokoro-Ogaji, for passion, commitment, and the drive you put into this program across the continent. Thank you once more. Today, we connect with all women work mining, celebrating their achievements and recognizing their vital roles in shaping the industry's future. The team sends a powerful message of empowerment and reflect the industry involving commitment to belong more responsible and inclusive. As you address the global demand for mineral essential to connect climate change, it is crucial that we foster a mining sector that it is ethical and equitable. Ladies and gentlemen, gender inclusion in African mining industry is not just a goal, it is a necessity. Women bringing unique perspectives, skills, and talent that enrich the sectors and drive innovations. Despite the significant progress made, women in mining still face numerous challenges, including gender bias, unequal opportunity, and inadequate support. It's our collective responsibility to dismantle this barrier and create environment where women thrive and succeed. Once more, we must also address the broad issue of responsible mining practice and the urgent need to remove children from mine sites. Children labor in mining, grave concern that determine the industry integrity and the well-being of communities. By promoting responsible mining practice, we can ensure that extraction of mineral does not come at the expense of human rights and environmental stability. Furthermore, advanced inclusion campaign for women across solid mineral value chain in Africa is critical. From exploration to extraction, processing, and management, women should have equal opportunity to participate and lead every aspect of industry. This unique constant efforts from all stakeholders, including government agencies, mining companies, civil society organization, and educational institution. We invite you all to join us in this advocacy for a more responsible and inclusive mining industry. Let's work together to remove children from mine sites, promote responsible mining practice, and advance gender inclusion across the solid mineral value chain. By doing so, we can create a mining sector that is not only productive and sustainable, but also just equitable. Thank you once more for being here, and let's work together to make a positive impact in the mining industry. Your support and commitment are crucial as we strive to build a future where everyone feels they belong and can contribute meaningful to the industry success. Thank you once more for listening. And additionally, I pray that Almighty Creator will give us the strength to achieve our goals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Ezinne Georgie Ezechi, for that presentation. It's well taken in, and a big amen to the prayer that you have made. It is now time to make my own short contribution today while we move forward to the next presenters. It is really an honor for me to address us all on this International Day of Women in Mining. This event is an annual celebration of the remarkable contributions that all of us women in the mining sector, support services givers, women in the pits, women in the offices, all of the women giving one service or the other in this male-dominated sector. It is really a project, an honor to have all of us here and to contribute to the celebration of the great inputs that you are making in the sector. This year's theme, I am mining and I belong. It underscores the crucial role women play in mining. It speaks to our resilience and our rightful place in this field. Women have historically faced significant obstacles in the mining sector, but yet we have shown unwavering determination, innovation, and leadership. Myself, I have been in the sector for about 18 years now, and indeed it has been a long journey to get here. So women in mining have overcome numerous challenges, including myself, breaking barriers and driving innovation. Our contributions have been vital to the industry's success in our little corner, in our little country, in our little communities, wherever we are globally. And it is crucial that we continue to support and empower each other as women in the mining sector. We must strive for a mining sector where women are not only present, but are thriving and leading. Our success depends on a united effort. We must work hand in hand as women. We must work with governments. We must work with civil society organizations in our local communities and in our countries, and international partners as well, to foster a mining industry that is both responsible and inclusive. The involvement of corporate entities, such as the companies we have their representatives here today as well, and also donor organizations, is also very, very crucial. Your support can amplify our efforts, helping us reach more communities and create lasting impact. I would like to really express my heartfelt gratitude to the teams that have worked tirelessly with me on today's event, planning, organizing, engaging with different stakeholders across the continent. Your dedication and passion are the driving forces behind our progress. And I can assure you that together, we are paving the way for a more equitable and just mining sector, most especially in Africa. I am also excited about the voices of children from the PITS program of WiM-Africa. We are deeply grateful for your presence and support towards this program. Today marks a significant milestone in our collective journey toward ending child labor in mining and promoting responsible mineral sourcing across Africa. Child labor in mining is a grave and pervasive issue that has long been overlooked. It is a violation of children's rights and a stark reminder of the systemic injustices that persist in the mining industry. So therefore, the voices of children from the PITS program is our response to this urgent crisis. Our goal at WiM-Africa is to amplify the voices of these vulnerable children, to bring their stories to the forefront, and to advocate for their removal and protection and education sustainably. Our mission is clear. It is to eradicate child labor from mines across Africa. To achieve this, we must work collaboratively with critical stakeholders in various countries to drive policy reforms in our local environments and in our different countries. We intend to forge strong partnerships with all of us in this room and with civil society organizations, with community leaders, very importantly, and reputable international organizations, because together we can develop comprehensive strategies that address the very root causes of child labor and create sustainable solutions that benefit all stakeholders. In addition to policy advocacy, our program will focus on direct interventions in mining communities. We will implement educational initiatives to provide children with alternatives to being at the mine sites, ensuring they have access to quality education and opportunities for a better future. We are already doing this, and we will intensify our efforts. And these efforts will extend across the African continent with targeted actions in the most affected regions through our implementing partners. And by collaborating with local community leaders, we aim to create a unified and very powerful movement against child labor in mining. It is a movement, and we are committed to it, and we will not rest until we have zero child being at the mine instead of developing a future in education, through education. Corporate entities have a crucial role to play in this transformation. By committing to responsible mineral sourcing and adhering to global standards, businesses can ensure that their operations do not contribute to the exploitation of children. It is a no-no, we frown at it, and we will do all that is possible within our resources and our will and our available partners like you to put a stop to it. We urge companies to join us in this endeavor, to invest in the well-being of mining communities, and to promote transparency and accountability within the supply chains. Donor organizations and philanthropists are essential to this mission. So your financial support will enable us to expand our programs, reach more communities across Africa, and implement effective interventions that protect children and promote sustainable development. Together, we can build a future where no child is forced to work in mines and where the rights and dignity of every individual are upheld. In closing my remark, I want to reiterate our unwavering commitment to ending child labor everywhere, from Nigeria to Zimbabwe, to Mali, to Malawi, to Angola, to the DRC, and where the rights and dignity of every individual are upheld is our agenda. Thank you all for being here today and for your commitment to advancing the rights of women, and children in the mining industry. Together, we can achieve remarkable progress. I want to thank the companies anyway. We will take turn, and the appreciation will come at the end of the presentation. I thank you all once again for coming today. Moving forward, we will invite Dr. Victoria Gantus, Esquire, to the microphone. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. My name is Victoria Enegantus. Today, we come together to celebrate the incredible contributions of women in the mining sector and to renew our commitment to gender equality and responsible mining practices. The theme for this year, I am mining and I belong, is in line with our mission and at WiM-Africa. It is a message of resilience and empowerment, reflecting the strength and determination of women who have persevered and thrived in an industry historically dominated by men. Women in mining have faced numerous challenges, yet they continue to break barriers, drive innovation, and make significant contributions to the sector. This is worth celebrating and giving credits to. Today, I am also excited to be part of the launch of the Voices of Children from the Pits program. This initiative is not just a campaign, but a clear call to all in action, both men and women. I have worked with WiM-Africa to further highlight the plight of children working in mines across Africa. We see them all very passionate about this program. No child should be sourcing minerals at mine sites in Africa while others are in school. Promoting responsible mine mineral sourcing is not just a wish, but must be implemented across the continent. The goal from my work with WiM-Africa is to ensure that every child has the opportunity to thrive in a safe and supportive environment, free from the dangers of child labor with access to education. To achieve these significant results, we must work collaboratively with governments, civil society organizations, and international bodies interested in responsible mineral sourcing standards. By driving policy reforms and implementing effective interventions, we can create a mining sector that is ethical, inclusive, and sustainable. We also call upon corporate bodies, entities, and donor organizations to support these efforts. Your contributions are vital in helping us expand our reach and impact in the continent, working with our passionate implementing partners. We surely can together foster a mining industry that respects human rights, empowers women, and protects the most vulnerable children and members of our communities. I want to state in closing that the mining industry is not just about extracting resources. It's not just about getting money, but it is about building a future that is fair and just for all. As we celebrate the achievement of women in mining today, let us also commit to creating a world where everyone, child, woman, men, regardless of gender, has the opportunity to succeed. Thank you to the organizers at WiM-Africa, and I want to especially appreciate the ED, Dr. Comfort Asokoro, for your dedication your passion and your commitment to making a difference. I'm really proud of you. I thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Victoria. It's a pleasure, and this is really an insightful presentation. Thanks for the commendation as well. Moving forward, now we would have Tanya Matviva, an Associate Director and Resource Geology at WSP Mining, joining us from either South Africa or London. So forgive me, yeah? You're welcome. Over to you now.
Hello, thank you very much for invitation. I'm joining you from London today. I have been working in Africa before, but and I'm looking forward to work in Africa again, hopefully one day. Thank you very much for invitation for this very important event, and certainly support your very important cause. But I'm here today to share my experiences of my very long life in the mining and mineral exploration industry as a woman. I am actually a third generation geologist, and that's unusual because, you know, not too many women can say that even their grandmother was a geologist, but that is my case. Somehow, I'm from Russia originally, and my grandmother during the war and in the very difficult, you know, conditions, somehow managed to become a hydrogeologist and then a leader of the hydrogeological expedition. And then my mom thought, you know, being a geologist is not a bad idea. But she was promptly sent to Siberia, where she lived in a very rough conditions. And so she then thought, no, it's not such a good idea for my daughter to become a geologist, despite seeing me climbing the rocks very keenly from my very early years. I wanted to be a geologist. In order to convince me not to become one, my mom took me with her to do her field work, where she was logging meters and meters of black clay, which indeed was a very boring job, and she almost convinced me. Until a moment when a fate walked into my life in the shape of a young student from university who convinced the kids to come and join him at the geology club at the university. And he was so inspiring that pretty much the whole class went at the time to join him at this geology club, where I was absolutely taken by his tales of the floating continents and volcanoes and magmas and deep ocean trenches. And so I stayed in this geological school and became a geologist, despite, you know, all my mom's good efforts to stop me from picking up this very difficult profession. So this is my kind of lesson number one, the importance of picking up the young people and you know, getting them early, because then they kind of carry on their whole life doing what they think they love anyway. I still love my profession. So I was very lucky to start working right away with the biggest mining company in the world in their exploration group. And I was supported by my male colleagues, and I got a great training and had very good attitudes from my mostly male colleagues. And so that was very important also for me to stay in the profession, despite, of course, some challenges of doing a lot of field work and in harsh conditions, but it was so engaging that it was really worth it. So I think I want to express my gratitude to my male colleagues at the time, and also just to point out that that's very important to have that kind of support. I had a very long life, and throughout my long life, I had 3 kids. And it is possible, and I also tell it all my, you know, young colleagues, it is possible with the support from your friends, from your family, and of course from your company. I chose to space my kids far apart. They're all 8 years apart, and I worked in between. And I know that a lot of my young colleagues also choose to have kids, and I think we should, as women, know that we don't have to choose either family or profession in mining. It is possible to have both, and of course my mom managed to have 2 kids as well, so it's doable. Don't worry about that. I lived in many countries. I started in Russia, I lived in Germany, I lived in Canada, I lived in the Netherlands, I now live in the UK. I hope to live in South America. And that's another point that I want to make. Mining industry makes it possible for us to travel the world, and not just as a tourist, but actually as an active member of the community in all these different countries. So I think that's a great thing about the mining profession. And my final point is about giving back. I was a member of a mentorship programs through Women in Mining and other similar organizations. And during my mentorship, I worked with the ladies from various countries, young, starting mining professionals. And that was a great experience for me as well, connecting with women all around the world and learning from their enthusiasm as well, and giving back from my long life experience. So I would also encourage the women in mining profession to support their young colleagues in the start kind of their work life. And thank you very much. That's my part.
Whoa, thank you very much, Tanya. That's quite inspiring and motivating speech from you. Sharing your life story is really, I heard you say 8 years in the gap for your kids. I'm like, wow, in the background, that's really unique and different. But thank you so much. Your story makes you a role model for us as an example of a woman that have navigated her career for many years now. And this will certainly help other women to envision their potential career paths as well. Overcoming barriers is possible. And I can see you really are an international woman, even in the career that you drive. So thanks for sharing this inspiring story. I will now move forward now and invite Tashni Chetty, a director at WSP Mining as well. She may be sharing her story or just giving us some insight. We'll appreciate any one of it. Over to you, Tashni. You're welcome. I'm sorry for that delay. Tashni, are you now a co-host? I just did now. I hope that works. Admin, can you hear me?
There we go. Hi, everyone. Apologies. I was trying to get off mute. I think there was a control. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, for being here today. Thank you so much for setting up such a wonderful event. I am from the South African office for WSP. I'm heading up mining in Africa. For me, this is a really formidable time to be in mining. The growth and the growth and extensity of what mining is in Africa at the moment is exorbitant, and the opportunities are within our grasp, especially as women in the industry. I'm also going to share a little bit about how I came into my role and how I grew into the position that I am in. I have a more of a contractual commercial background. I worked as a QS for most of my career. I was started off on site, as many of you as well would have done. It gave me the greatest grounding to understand exactly what site work in a mining environment looks and feels like. I was fortunate to work on the Medupi power plant, a critical mine that fed the coal into the bunkers and into the silos that were built. This was a really formidable project because it allowed me to understand, firstly, how mining projects run, but also the interaction between various relationships in the stakeholder engagements. Much like Tanya, I had a lot of support from the men on my team. Everyone leaned in, but in those early days, and that was about, I think, 18 years ago, the work environment on site was not really set up for a woman in that space. So you would have to, I remember the times when they were really difficult, just to go to the bathroom, for instance. It didn't exist on site. So you'd get into your car, drive to a spot that was an established building, and then find a ladies' lavatory there. And that at that time felt normal, but obviously it was a challenge for many reasons. Now, though, things have changed. And you can see the industry shifting more towards accommodating of all genders and all types, and making it really a safe haven for you to feel comfortable in. And I think that's largely because of the organizations that exist, like WiM-SA, like WiM-Africa, like WiM-UK, where we push forward and we try to strive to do better in that space. The other things in my career that have really afforded me the opportunity to grow is that from this technical experience and opportunity that I had, I then delved a little bit more into business management, and that allowed me to get in more into a leadership management position. Slightly different, but in that consulting space, I got to meet across different stakeholders, whether it was geologists like Tanya or a few of you on the call, or it was more in the corporate environment and understanding business and finance and growing that ambition of mining in the entity that I worked for. This allowed me to lean back into my business knowledge, but also being able to push forward in an industry that is still largely male dominated. I'm proud to say that the industry is trying to accommodate a lot more women into the space, and you'll see it at the executive board level. However, there's still a long way to go, and we see this happening in bits and pieces. But largely, it's been good. It's been a good career journey. The other thing that I'm proud to say is that in the different mining environments that exist, you learn from each other, you grow. There's a huge community of lift as you rise. So helping those that are juniors, that are getting into the industry, is one of the most important aspects of growing in the industry, is making sure that you have affording people the opportunity to understand, to grow, to take up the helm, and to also be a part of the journey alongside you. It's one that you can build together, and it's one that we need the support of men and women alike. I'm fortunate enough to have had that opportunity, and I look forward to extending it to a lot more women in my career going forward. Thank you again so much for having me speak today, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the event.
Thanks very much, Tashni. Thank you for that contribution.
Thank you.
One takeaway I have is that we have to learn to grow by learning a lot, most especially also from our male counterpart in the sector. Tashni's got a lot of experience, and this is really inspiring for us. So thank you so much for sharing. We look forward to having more of your experiences in the future, including Tanya as well. And every other associate of ours, including Victoria, we look forward to that. Myself, I have worked in over 200 mine sites in Africa, either directly in the field or indirectly reviewing documents, ESG documents, environmental management plans, different management plans that has been put in place to make sure sustainability is at the focus of this mining businesses. And I have seen a lot really that calls for capacity building, most especially for women in the industry. So this call from Tashni to me is really, really important. We women in the sector have to keep growing. And growing comes from knowledge. It comes from knowledge. No two sides are the same. They have unique features, unique parameters, unique challenges. And most especially the women-owned organizations, there's a lot of capacity to build. And I'm happy that we have from Zimbabwe, Madam Angela Mandeye, who works in the banking sector, and she wants to share some experiences with us as well and give us some insight about her work in trying to get financing for women in the mining industry in Zimbabwe. So I will go now straight on to Madam Angela Mandeye. Sorry if I don't pronounce your name well, from the ZB Bank in Zimbabwe. This is now your time. Thank you very much for coming, Madam Angela. Over to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I like the way you pronounce the surname. I think I should actually change it to that. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies here present. As earlier on spoken to, my name is Angela Mafukum. I am a manager for ZB Financial Holdings, one of the leading financial institutions in Zimbabwe, which is passionate about delivering happiness to its stakeholders, hence our participation in this forum. As ZB Financial Holdings, we are committed to empowering women in mining by providing financial assistance and advisory services on how best women in Zimbabwe can grow and professionalize their mining ventures. We have been working with resilient women in mining and WiM-Africa through their country coordinator, Ms. Faith Muteta. Thank you so much, Faith. It has been a pleasure working with you thus far. And since our partnership with Faith, we've managed to assist various women in Shavane